Once upon a time, I wanted to be a storyboard artist. Well, kind of. I thought it was the only job that I could really do. Ideally, I would have loved to have been an animator, but that's done overseas. Which sucks, because it's like Disney. Like, they fumbled the bag. They had like this whole legacy. We're not gonna get too much into that. If you're in the American animation industry, basically it's like storyboarding, character design, backgrounds, either like writing it, post. Yeah, everything other than that is pretty much outsourced. I mean, it pays well. I wanted to work at, the major studios. I wanted to live the dream. I always wanted to work at Cartoon Network Studios because Cartoon Network used to be Hanna-Barbera. And Hanna-Barbera made Scooby-Doo, which is my favorite animated series of all time. Cartoon Network just had a good track record of just solid cartoons. When it came to the lore, the fandoms, Cartoon Network had it on lock. Just nobody else was doing it like Cartoon Network. I mean, later on down the line, you had shows like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Regular, like those are all classics. Gumball. So obviously I wanted to work at Cartoon Network when I got older. And it sucks that I came into the industry at a time where it doesn't even really exist anymore. They sold off all of their stuff. They're pulling things from streaming. They're merging. Like, oh my gosh. Like, my goal in life, I just wanted to have that Cartoon Network name badge. Like, I'm so jelly of anyone who got to work there. Like, bruh, like, why? But yeah, once I had the dream of working at all of the large major studios because, everybody says if you don't work at each one of the studios, are you really successful? Don't you want to go to Disney? Don't you want to go to Blue Sky? Like, they don't even exist anymore. That's the crazy part about it. I lived in the valley really close to those studios growing up, so I remember driving past Nickelodeon studios when their gates were orange and they had all of the characters outside. I remember driving past the Cartoon Network building. I was recently there when they shut it down. Like, I went there right before they took off the Cartoon Network sign, and I saw the building after they took the Cartoon Network sign down. And that was when it really hit me, like, yeah, like, it's a wrap. But once I graduated high school, I immediately knew that I had to start working on some form of portfolio so that way I could get the moolah. I felt so much pressure to get to the moolah because obviously you need moolah to live. That, and I didn't go to school. I didn't go to school because I am afraid of debt. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be in debt for the rest of my life. Like, every time I talk to somebody about students, loans, whatever, they fucking hate it. Especially for something like art. Like, why would I want to get myself looped up in that? Especially when, we have the internet. There are so many tools at our disposal. So I remember taking a couple classes on Schoolism by Bobby Chu. And then I almost took a class at Project City. But during that time, I felt really just discouraged and burnt out. So I decided to make a pivot in my career and kind of do social media and have an online business, basically. I think because I grew up online, I was exposed to many different kinds of artists, not just, industry professional artists, but also online artists. I grew up watching a lot of like Bailey J, watching a lot of artists do vlogs in artist alleys, and they looked like they were alive and well. So I was just like, why not give that a shot? So I was like, let's go for it. In 2020, that's when I really started to explore that option. It just felt really tricky because being able to say that you work at the major studios is like a flex, in my opinion. And it also comes with like that kind of security, even though job security in the animation industry, even though it's like a gig economy. We're not even gonna go there right now. But it's like the more safe, the more secure option. So going off and like pivoting away from that felt really scary, especially since, I always told everybody that I wanted to be a storyboard artist. That's what I wanted to do. But even thinking about that, it's like, did I even really want that? The answer is no, because at the end of the day, it's still a 9-to-5. Because I remember talking to a couple of industry professionals when I got my portfolio reviewed. I asked them, like, what do you guys think about all of like the online hate and backlash that you guys get? They're like, bro, it's a 9-to-5. We get the scripts in, we do our best, and we go home. We get the check and we live. And I was just like, damn, like, yes, going into it with rose-tinted glasses, it's like, you know, it's animation you're drawing, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And you're there to get your check and you bounce, you go back home. And personally, I've always had some sort of entrepreneurial drive. I was always selling, you know, duct tape wallets, like the newest thing, like I had it on lock. So I knew that I wanted to learn more about art business, but nobody's gonna teach you about art business. There isn't a good program for art business, and that's like a huge hole right now, is that they either tell you how to be like a cog in the machine, or, you know, you're just like a starving artist, unfortunately. There's like a section of artists that fit the bill, which are like the convention artists. They do conventions and they have like this online business, and then, you know, they just kind of post their art online, and there's like a way to finesse it. So that was an option that I explored later on, which got me to here. But I want to show you guys how far I was able to take this storyboarding front. So the last project I worked on was an animatic for what turned into be my comic called Swag Time. And I had it reviewed by a professional that was working at Nickelodeon. I used the resource called Rise Up Animation for their free mentor sessions. And I think that it really leveled me up and got me to a place where I'm like, I can do this and have something that looks like really good in portfolio ready. But like I said, finding a storyboard job right now but I'm happy that I was able to take it this far, because it showed me that even though it was something that I didn't really want to do, I was still willing and able to do it, and I gave it my best shot. I was always on top of myself. Because I wasn't in school, I was on top of myself like 10 times harder, making sure that I, you know, wasn't giving up on this career choice of being an artist. I was able to finish multiple projects and, you know, revise on these projects. I sent them to the Nick Artist program. You know, I was very active and proactive in this. I'm really proud that I was able to give it my best shot for what it was, especially since, like I said, the entertainment industry, the animation industry, who knows what the hell is going on right now. If you're new here, I'm Lil Magic, and I make art that helps those impacted by bullying feel good now. And I would love for you to join over 500 readers rediscovering hope in my comic called Swag Time. Yeah, so Swag Time first started off as an animatic, and then that's when I decided to start developing it as like a physical comic book that I can sell in person, since I was really committed to going down that indie artist path. So once the animatic was done, I decided to, you know, turn it into like a test pilot for my comic. And then I liked it a lot and kept developing on it, and that is what you end up seeing in my comic called Swag Time. Yeah, I'm gonna let it play. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to support me in my art, check out my website, and, you know, comment a frog emoji in the comments. That'll be the secret emoji of the day. Tonight is a very special night. I finally get to show off my skills and make my debut as the best magician ever! Jeez, I look busted. Whatever. And with my special final act, I'm sure to knock their socks off. Isn't that right, guys? But first, a shower. Nobody likes a funky monkey. Ah, the water feels so good. What the heck? A bug! Okay, maybe I overreacted, but I still don't like bugs. But this bug seems a little different. And then suddenly, he broke out into a little fancy dance. I couldn't let him show me up, of course, so I did a bigger shanty dance. Yeah. And together in the shower, we did our dancey dance.